What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how you lose body fat in the most simple way possible. So I'll be taking you through a step-by-step of exactly how one loses body fat. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is how many calories you are burning on a day-to-day basis. So this is otherwise known as your TD, or your total daily energy expenditure. Again, this is the total amount of calories you're going to be burning on a day-to-day basis. This is made up of two parts. So you got your BMR and your active calories. So your BMR is your basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that your body needs just to survive and function. So you could be laying in bed all day, and that's the amount of calories your body's going to burn just to function. Your active calories, as the name implies, is how many calories you're burning by doing activity, by doing cardio, going to the gym, sports, whatever it may be. Those are your active calories. Those two combined at the end of the day will give you your total daily energy expenditure. Once we have this figured out for this video, let's say 3,000 calories, I would always recommend going for about 1% body weight fat loss per week. So for someone like me, I weigh 200 pounds, I would aim for about 2 pounds per week. But let's say we're at 3,000 calories as your total daily energy expenditure, and we want to go for 1 pound of fat loss. So what I would recommend here, if you didn't know, 1 pound is 3,500 calories. Divided by 7 days is 500 calories. So if our TD is 3,000, you want to be minusing 500 to get to 2,500 calories per day, and this will yield 1 pound of fat loss at the end of the week. Now that we have our calories set, we want to be focused on body composition. So the calories is what's going to determine your body weight, and the macros are what's going to determine your body composition. So now that we have the calories out of the way, you want to be focusing on optimizing your macronutrients. So first off, the most important macronutrient is your protein. I would always recommend aim for about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight when you are dieting. This will help ensure that you are not using your muscles, your lean tissue, as a fuel source for your body. And you want to have your protein intake because that's going to help fuel your fat loss if your metabolic rate is higher. Next up, we have fat. So I would, at the very minimum, recommend 15% of your total calories come from fat. Fat is used to regulate and synthesize hormones, so you obviously don't want to be messing around with that. So at least 15%, and then the rest of the calories can be split among carbs and fats. And if you didn't know, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Right, so now that we have the nutrition out of the way, the next thing is your training. So typically what most people do when they want to lose body fat is, first off, they'll cut a crazy amount of calories, and then they'll go in the gym and do 2 hours of cardio. This is probably the worst way you can lose fat, literally. So when it comes to training, you always want to be hitting weights first instead of cardio. This is going to help you, first off, build muscle, and the more muscle you have, the more lean tissue you have, and the higher your metabolism is. Your metabolism is directly correlated with how much muscle you have. So obviously, if you want to be maximizing that, the more you have, the more calories you're going to be burning at rest, which is obviously going to make the cut a lot easier if you're able to eat more food. So first off, always hit weights before cardio, and then implement cardio once you stall with fat loss. All right, lastly, now that we have the training and nutrition out of the way, is your sleep and your water intake. So first off, with water, a lot of people are scared to drink a lot of water because they think they're going to hold onto a lot of water and make them bloated. This is absolutely not the case. If you start dehydrating yourself, your body's actually going to be like, oh my God, I'm not getting enough water. So it's going to start holding on to more water than it otherwise would normally. So with water intake, don't be afraid to drink a lot of water. I would aim for about 1 gallon per day. And like I said, that'll keep you nice and hydrated and optimize your training and nutrition. And lastly, you got your sleep. Now, in my opinion, sleep is massively underrated when it comes to fat loss. The reason being is, one, if you're not getting enough sleep, then you're going to start craving more bad foods, junk food, stuff like that. That's obviously going to make the diets a lot harder. And 2, it's going to impact your training in the gym significantly. So you're not going to be able to train as hard and as long if you're under rested. So in my opinion, get at the very, very minimum 7 hours of sleep per night. Better to get 8 hours, makes a big difference at 1 hour, and that's going to help fuel your fat loss tremendously. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you picked up a thing or two from the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.